Johnny, Starr, how are you? You're all the way here from Newry in County Down this evening.
Yes, I'm from Newry. I was over in Portrush today and we talked about during I make a chance, so the first chance I got was today to come over to see you.
I know that, and I mentioned that on your show, that you travelled from Portrush to see me today.
Yes, indeed I did.
Absolutely, but you are a Newry man.
I'm a Newry,
indeed.
yes.
Johnny,
indeed.
how did your journey begin and who influenced you into the scene of the country music?
Well, the country scene was always, suppose, from growing up, there was nothing. You had Radio Luxembourg on the radio. Those who could afford to have a radio, you could hear it. But and there was always like Hank Williams and all this people that sang and Roy Rogers and Gene Autry and you name it. But that's the type of stuff. And then it was just basically music. And then I think that the only thing that at that time I would feel growing up, the nearest thing to country music we were getting this part of the world was like a Lonnie Donegan.
Oh yes, of course.
It would be doing that type of skiffle style of thing, and well, as you know, Lonnie Donegan, he was more a jazz influenced player. He played Dixieland, he played the Chris Barber and banjo and that,
Yes.
and but it was the country flavour seemed to be the Rock Idle Lane and
Yes,
all
he
this type of
did
thing.
great stuff too.
So that's how it basically it came, and then as time went on, you got the American artists were bringing stuff out, and the show band scene were clicked onto it, like Shea Hutchison and all the rest of them, and all these lads, and they were all doing, and you had who else was there? Slim Whitman.
Of course.
You see, so basically you were brought up with it.
They brought up, it was in the house, in the home, like, and everybody was, everybody was very.
And then at that time, there was very little regards to venues and that. They didn't seem to have your Saturday night dances, and you could maybe a wee trio playing, and that's where
exactly where the men sit on one side.
That's where I met. Yes, that's where I met Jackie Hirsch, and that way he was. I would say of all the influences I had to put me into music would have been Jackie Hirsch.
Well, I believe your father played music too, and of course he played the Irish, probably the Irish traditional, and the Irish country too, probably, and you played the box, and and you were multi instrumental as well, because you just don't play guitar, you also play the banjo, Johnny.
I play banjo too. I play tenor banjo.
Can you tell me a bit about the Cozy Corner band?
Well,
what a name!
Yes, well, the Cozy Corner. Well, I'm not ashamed to say it or anything, but for quite a number of years I wasn't very well. I went through a bad time with a brain tumour and that, and I've seen a lot of people a lot worse off than me struggling. And I said, if I ever got myself right and be on the road again, get all clear, I'd put something together and I'd have to help. So for quite a few years now, I've been going to care homes and hospices and doing that. And when I wanted to put a wee band together, I said, God, I think I'll call it the Cozy Corner Band, because everybody in their lives that's going through bad times, they would love to have a wee cozy corner where they could sit in and be happy. So I put the Cozy Corner Band together, playing Irish, playing country, playing nice dance music of both my generation, from foxtrots to quick steps to old time waltzes to tangos or whatever.
And you also played American too.
Because I was brought up through them years, and I think it gives me a chance to I give something back. I do feel proud to be able to be here, and the men, I can't thank them enough, the doctors and the surgeons and all, to have me here. Exactly. So I feel that doing this gives me that bit of support, and I help them too.
And you have another chance as well to get
So
out.
it's the cozy corner. It's everybody, I feel, needs a cozy corner to relax, take stock of life,
It's
and,
support.
and enjoy a bit of music.
Exactly.
And that's all I want to do. I don't care any backing tracks. What I'm there, God gave me the gift to play, and
by God, you are a unique guitarist.
I wouldn't say that.
Yes, you are indeed. I've never seen that style, you know, and I've seen a lot of guitarists, and they all use plex, and that's not even that. Like, you are a freestylist guitarist with using your 5 fingers at one time. It's a very unique style. It's very actually. I've seen one or two French players playing like that in the past, but I've never seen it here in Ireland.
Well,
that's a unique.
well, the stuff that I when I was younger, I played. I used to love Django Reinhardt, and I played that style. I used to play with matter of fact, I played with a wee quartet in New York, in one or two hotels, and it was mostly dining and dancing and resting, take easy listening music, piano, guitar, string bass, and drums.
Of course,
and that's the style I was playing. You know what I mean? I'd sit down and play, but it was, how can you say, it's something that God gave me the gift to do, and I just never changed.
Would you ever think, Johnny, of actually putting on a nice wee show with a few artists on it, with the Johnny Starr and the Golden Years with the Cozy Corner band?
Well,
would you not think about something like that?
I'm open for anything that's happening, and I'm opening my heart's out to give it back to country music and back to people who want to hear me and would like to have me there, because behind the scenes of my life, I do a lot behind the scenes for charity.
I know you do, and I think.
I'm with Tesco stores in Uri there, and and I'd work with them for the air ambulance and stuff like that. Whatever venues they want me to do, I'm there for them.
I think it would be a great idea to put on your own charity for your own charity, and to actually upline that Johnny Starr and the Cozy Corner Band with a few artists like yourself.
Yeah.
For example, Joe Moore. For example, yourself.
I know Joe very well. Yes. Lovely fellow, Joe.
For example, Steve Hamilton, lads from Newry. Up that direction, put something very nice and unique together. Have a few of the women on it, Susan McCann, have a few of the girls on it, and call that to your show and do it on an annual basis, John.
I would do that with the greatest of pleasure. If anyone wants to put it together and they want to use me to do that, by all means, to have I have all my support.
Well, we just need to get the charity, Johnny, there to
wherever
get to
charity is going, I'll be there to help.
And especially because you've gone through a lot yourself, and I'm sure
I
you
went
would
through a lot, and I want to give something back.
Exactly, and that's
and the Cozy Corner Band is a way to do it for me.
It is the way to do it, indeed it is. Well, a big name in the music industry yourself, that played with Roy Orbison.
Yeah.
Back in 1959, was it, Johnny?
The first time he came over was in 1967.
Oh, 1967. Sorry.
1967 he came to Ireland to do one show to see Ireland, and it was based, the show he done was in Bushmills.
Yes.
And the bass player came from England. The bass player came with them from England. He was from England.
Aye.
And I played with an agency, worked for an agency in New York who organised the whole thing. And they got in touch with me, and I said yes. I was living back in Ireland, and they had no problem. I worked with them before, that's not a problem. So there was two brothers, in the band. The drummer and the lead guitar players were both brothers, and they were from Nashville. They lived in Nashville, and I got to know them quite well and got on with them well. And we done the show in Bushmills, and it was in a marquee.
Yes.
And they flew back, and then we kept in touch with the man. My agent was a man called Frank Birchall, and he was based in Idaho, and his agency was in Idaho, upstate New York, and I was living in Queens, but I was back home in Ireland at the time when this all happened. So from one thing led to another. I finished up. I toured. I done 4 world tours.
What rare was it?
From 1968 till 73, I was in between doing tours and odd things in America with them. Not all the time. Done other venues with other acts that was popular at the time and on the books with the agents that I was working with. But I enjoyed my time with Roy, and people can say what they like about him. I'm saying it as me. He was a very, very nice, honest man. He knew what money we were on, and every night we played, he used to come into the green room, we called it, and he would give us, each of us, the other 3 members, give us $100 each.
That's very decent.
And he would say, I know what you are on, don't tell Frank.
No, for you.
That's what he would say.
He was a decent guy.
A very, very decent guy.
And great memories of him, John.
I've great memories of him. Just a nice, nice man.
Yeah.
And he kept himself very private. When we were in hotels and stopping, everything was very private. He never, none of this, I don't care what the papers say or what they don't say. I'm saying it what he was to me.
Exactly, because you're the man that worked with him.
I worked with him, and he was, to me, well, I didn't want to know anything about anybody's life anyway. I was just an Irish fella, got a break, got a chance.
You got a great break, Johnny.
I got a great break, and
but why not? You had the
right. So I had to.
For it.
I showed what. Be honest and be just straight and do a job.
And be professional.
So I mean, it was just at the end of the day, it was a job. But I can say, and I would say this to all acts that's travelling the road and doing it every night in the week and jumping and jumping and jumping. I sat back a few years ago when I was ill, and I felt I made a mistake in a lot of ways, because I missed my family growing up, because all I could see the world was through a window of a motor car or the back of a van or on a train or on an aeroplane. I missed my family growing up, and when I got to know them, sadly one of them passed away when I only got to know him. And I have one son lives in England, and he's the only one left. There's only 2 boys. So taking that, for all the hype and all the things that I've done, and said, oh, we played Carnegie Hall, or we played here, and he played there, fantastic, and God gave me the talent and the luck to do it. But when you look at the price you had to pay, sometimes just telling people to be careful.
Yeah, that family time is very important, John.
Be careful. Just be careful.
It comes once.
Just keep in contact, keep there, and make time for your family.
For your loved ones.
Yeah. There's plenty of room for everything else. People say you only live once. My advice to you is you don't. you live every day, you only die once. So them days, share them the best you can.
Exactly. And amongst good people and great company.
And
Family and friends.
You know what I mean? Because, all right, you're only here once and all that, but beside the point, that's beside the point. But I feel to give something back if you have the opportunity to do it, and hold on to things that's dear to you, because they can slip away very quick.
Exactly. You don't know what's around the corner.
You don't know, no. And music business goes very fast.
And as they say, you're as good as you last.
But you take it, I started in 1956.
Which is 69 years ago.
So when you think of it.
It's a long, long time ago, Johnny.
A long time ago, I'm 83.
And you have, oh my God, like, and thank God, you're still as, you know, as great as ever.
I enjoy my playing, and I've some great friends throughout the world in the music business, and we respect each other.
And that's a legacy.
Yeah, we respect each other. We keep in contact with, a lot of them we still keep in contact with.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like some of my friends sadly have passed away, and what can you do? But that's the ones that are still there. We always keep in touch. I get my Christmas things, we get our birthdays, we always remember everything, you see.
Of course, because these people you met on your way, and life is a journey.
Life is a journey.
Life is a journey, and you know Johnny well, and we're both two songwriters.
I love the songwriting.
You write your songs.
I write my songs.
And you sometimes write them in the time you need, or at the lowest point in your life maybe, or the highest point in your life. And there's a meaning, because it's a great way to express yourself.
Yes. I do like writing.
I love it too.
I love writing songs. I love just putting words together, putting some melodies together, and trying not, how can you say, it's hard to say. You can write stuff and people would take offence of what you wrote because you put it down in words and it's the way you were thinking it.
Yeah, because what's in your heart.
What's in your heart.
Comes out
and that's what the hardest part of writing is, to try to write something that people can understand it the way you understand it.
Exactly, and a lot of the songs that songwriters write too, John, you know, are actually a life experience that they had.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I think that should be appreciated by people, because if you have a life experience and you're brave enough to speak about it, whether it's you speak about it or you write a song about it, I think that is a milestone in itself, and I think it's a great expression.
Oh, I write stuff that sometimes it gets a wee bit too emotional, and I say I won't put it. I'll scrub it.
But that's needed too, you know.
Oh.
Because people's emotions are like, you can release a lot of good. See, from music, music is in our souls, in our hearts and minds. So it's a combination, like, and I mean, if I sit and I play music, I find that it's a great release. It's a great stress release. It opens your mind.
Yes.
It makes you very positive.
Yeah.
And it's something that it's actually a gift from God above that we have to save our souls. And that's my feeling.
You never say that through a word.
And I've written that on one of my songs.
You have to, and if you were blessed with a talent, give it everything you have.
Exactly. Give it your best.
Give it your best shot.
Because the rest might like it.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Give it your best shot.
And you know, like, it's many time you think about, Johnny, this music, it's your journey. It's also mine, Johnny. And being honest with you, if I had to do it all over again, I would certainly have done the same thing. I would indeed.
Well, I would too.
It's our tiebreaker.
But sometimes I think that I maybe would fancy going a different way about it.
Well, yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like,
I met some great people, and people that stick in my mind. People would say, he's not into that. But the most, how can I say, a man that took me really emotionally as a gentleman and everything was a man called Sean O'Riordan.
Oh, Sean O'Riordan, yes.
Well, I remember I was a teenager and I used to be with Jackie Hirsch and we used to do a show called Take the Floor with Injo.
Ooh.
And it was recorded in the O'Connell Hall in O'Connell Street in Dublin.
Dublin, yeah.
And across the road from the big hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And used to record it. And I was with my guitar and banjo, playing banjo with the band. And at my guitar. And he come up and he done that along the piano. And I remember him well, big fuzzy hair, grey haired man. And he taught me a Russian tune. And I played that on the guitar. And I saw me in playing places and I would play a Russian dove on the guitar.
Russian dove. Yeah, that's a very, very Irish song, you know.
I would play that on the guitar.
Called tradition that. And well, Johnny, being honest with you, you are a very, very interesting man in the music world.
Oh,
You're also a talented singer and instrumentalist, and no doubt, I've no doubt in my mind at all, why would not you be playing with the likes of those big bands in the past, like I mean Roy Orbison and all that. You did Carnegie Hall and all the big venues in the UK, and still playing in the UK, Johnny.
Yeah.
Even Eddie's Day coming up.
Yeah.
And Johnny Starr is playing
still
in the UK.
Playing away.
Still playing away. Still also writing your songs. Out of all your songs you ever wrote, which one means the most to you?
Which one? I don't know.
Is there one that's close to your heart?
I couldn't say. I mean, places I played, I could pick songs that I could play, per se. There's one song, I remember playing it. I was very close to my father.
Okay.
And I took him one night with me and I was playing. And he was sitting at the side and I sung a song, You Don't Come and See Me Anymore. And I saw my father cry.
Of course, because
that broke my heart.
Right.
And any song that ever made me really, really sit back and think was that I can still see him.
Imagine that. That's what I mean. There's always one. There's always one that you find that point in your life.
To see me anymore.
That sentimental value of music, and that sentimental touch and feeling.
Sticks in there.
Exactly. That special moment. And that special moment comes sometimes with
I there's funny things that happen to me that stick in my mind. I remember the very first night I ever played in Botley Variety Club.
Yeah.
And Shirley Bossy was the star.
Of course you played with Shirley Bossy.
But this was before doing shows when I was on the bill. And I had to be there very early. And I arrived, set my stuff up, and all the tables and chairs were all stacked up in a massive big hall. And they said to me, we have a run through at 7 o'clock.
Yes.
So I done it.
Trial.
And he said, now you need to be back here for 8 o'clock.
Mm.
So I was back, he says, you'll be on stage at 8. So I went with something to eat, come back, went into the dressing rooms, got changed, come back out on stage. The band was all set up and everything. I had all my dots and all the everything we run through. And I looked and it was the same. There was nobody in it. all the chairs were all stacked up. And I says, what the hell? And next thing, the fella says, one, counted the band in to start to play. And I started to play, and next thing, the stage went like that, and it went round. I didn't know it went round.
Oh yes, it was one of those.
Revolving stage.
Yeah. Oh yes.
And round the other side, and the place was packed. You couldn't see and you couldn't hear nothing.
Of course, because
it was all
the reason they did that, of course, because you were rehearsing and stuff, and that's your privacy, and then the open
I don't know, it came right round, and Charlie Bossy was standing at the sides of the stage, and she busted out laughing. To tell you the truth, I was like this. When I come off, when she came to me, looked at me, she started to laugh. I said, I didn't know what the hell was going on. That's the way I just said to her. She says, that happened to me too. Nobody told me. The first time, she says, I played here, I was a teenager. She says,
well, that was your surprise.
And she says, nobody told me that the stage went round. And she says, I started. The next thing, she says, only I steadied myself up, I would have been on the floor. The stage came right round. The stage just went like this, and then went round. Of
course, yeah. I've often seen them abroad.
I never forget it. Yeah. I laughed my head off after.
Well, Johnny, it's been a pleasure having you in the music.
It's a pleasure to be here and in your company. I think you're a lovely, lovely lady.
And many's a year that since the first time that I played Johnny Starr music is nearly 2 to 3 years ago, if it's not.
Yeah.
And 10 years ago, I had a great pleasure of that you sent me your album. And I still have your album. And I played your album, I still play your album. But isn't it great to have you live at the studio?
I think it's fantastic
to
be here.
It's far better than playing.
To be this part of the world, in my time of life, and meeting people like yourself, it makes it all worthwhile.
Of course, and meeting a music icon like yourself, and knowing worldwide, and your tours to Australia and Germany and America, the UK, and still playing strong. The legend, Johnny Starr, the Cozy Corner Band.
Well, I feel
it was a pleasure having you.
The pleasure's mine to be here.
Well, Johnny, thank you so much.
Thank you very much
all
indeed
the way from Newry and County Down, the legend, Johnny Starr, and the Cozy Corner. Good night from myself and Johnny.
Good night.
We're in great company.
Good night. God bless.
Slán agus Gramila Mahali.